Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, welcome back to another great season of America's Next Top Model. We're on cycle 21, episode 12, The Girl Who Gets Caught in a Lie. More and more dramas coming your way. I'm your host, Emma Kay, and joining me are my great co-hosts,
Thaddeus Massey, Mike Scocozza,
Amanda Fields Bennett.
So, I think we've gotten up to a point into the season where it's my favorite part. You're down to the top 5, and it's just actually top 6.
Top six.
We're going to be going into top 5, but you really get to see people and who they really are made of up to this point, because they go through a lot. I mean, reality TV, drama, and people need to have really thick skin to be able to get this far and to keep their head in the game. Get into relationships, not get caught up into drama, to really be in it for, just to win. And it seems like it's been really hard up until this point. So I commend, all the contestants who are still on and are able to fight on to win, to become America's Next Top Model. So I just want to go through it real quickly and mention, some of the contestants that are still on. It's Adam, Lennox, Chantel, Keith, Shy, and Will. I want to pose a question to you guys and ask, out of those 6 contestants, who is the one person that you are surprised to see in the top 6?
That's still remaining. I'm a little bit surprised about Adam, only because, I don't know, I feel like he's admitted that he's had trouble with his drinking, and also his partying ways, and the fact that he started out with the cheesy poses and the over-the-top athleticism and the pictures, but he's really come a long way, and I really love his photographs, but I was just a little surprised. I didn't know if he would make it this far.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, Adam was an underdog coming in. We love Adam. I love Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He's awesome to be around. But, I don't think that's out of the question to say. He probably has the least experience out of anyone still in the competition. So I think it's a little bit surprising. But
he is a great model, and I'm glad that he's done so well. So I'm not putting him down. I'm just surprised.
Okay. You're going to agree?
I'm not surprised that anybody is where they are. I mean, everybody who's there at this point in the game deserves to be there. I would think that they all, it's a tight competition. I mean, the people that are there, I'm not surprised that any of them are there. So,
I feel like the strongest people that were in the competition are still in the competition. Yeah. I will say that. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I want to throw this out there. Does anybody else feel like I was watching this episode and I was just like, man, they are like fishing for drama. Like, I watched it and I was
didn't want to be the one to say it. I'm glad you said it.
No, because I
feel like they've done this whole story with Adam on the drinking. Like,
dude, yeah.
Do I feel like Adam is an alcoholic? No. Do I feel like he drinks and parties like any frat boy, college? Like, yeah, that's what they do. That doesn't mean that he's having a good time. And, he did mention how he is quiet and a little more reserved. And he thinks, just having a couple beers or whatever is going to help him.
I think he has...
just loosen up a little bit. And I think the average person that drinks probably has a couple drinks on a 13-hour flight. Thank you very much. On top of that. So I'm not going to be mad at Adam for drinking a little bit to get over this 13-hour flight.
I think it was more than a little bit, though.
Yeah, and, well, to his defense, they were having some sort of a birthday celebration.
It was really his birthday, yeah.
We don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but he has extreme personalities. He's either really quiet or just really hyper because of the drinking. So there is no middle ground for him. So I think that's why he stands out more than anyone else. But yeah, I'm surprised at Adam. But surprisingly, he does take great photos. So you can't.
Blue suede steel.
It's one look.
You can't really knock him out. I was surprised that Mariana, you know, didn't make it as far, and Adam is still here. But you know, I think
I feel like when Mariana went home, it was like, okay, Denzel's going home next. They were keeping them around for the story.
No, Denzel went home first.
Denzel went first.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you knew if one went, the other one was going to go.
Yeah, sure.
Well, there's no more drama to bring. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, when I watch an episode, like, I want to feel good about it. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, I feel like sometimes it's almost a downer. You know, like I want to be like, I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. Like, go guys. You know,
Mariana, that's the one surprise that isn't in the competition still. Like, I thought she would still be here. I thought she would still be going to Korea, but...
Really?
I thought so, too.
I think, well, I don't know if you like her personality or not, but when it comes down to her pictures and when she's on the runway, I mean, she does a great job.
Well, you have to remember that this is a television show about a contest.
She's going to be able to model, of course.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
She'll definitely be able to work, but you got to remember that part of the scores had to do with social media as well. And I'm not so sure how she's being received based on a lot of things that have been going on in the house. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding her and her existence this season.
Her existence.
Her existence.
The whole existence.
Her existence of Cycle 21, right? The existence of Mariana on Cycle 21. So,
Hold on, was she the one that didn't even come on for her elimination interview?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Mariana, not good.
I just like to talk, you know?
Right.
Just talk it out.
We just want to talk.
Yeah, come on, girl, we just want to talk.
We don't bite.
Hard.
At least not physically.
Denzel came on, though. Denzel was great. So, I don't know. Who knows why she couldn't make it or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're packaging yourself. There's a personality that you have to. There has to be relatability. Okay, you're gonna get votes, and there's gonna be some kind of input from the viewers and the watchers. Okay, so you want to be likable. You want to be somewhat likable, and I'm not sure she was totally likable. Did she take great pictures? Yes, that's undeniable. Did she have a great face? Yes, she took great pictures. But it's not all about that.
Do you think her personality was worse than Chantel's?
No.
Do I think it's worse than Chantel's?
Oh. I've been waiting for this answer.
I don't, honestly, the problem with it was, say you have two pit bulls.
Okay. Where are you going with this?
One's from Canada, one's from the U.S.
Oh,
no. One is quiet. You know they'll both bite your ass, but one of them just kind of sits there and waits for you to, like, go into the yard before they attack. And then the other one, when you walk by, is just growling and barking at you, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I hope this fence is going to hold up, or this dog is going to chew my head off. Okay, so that's kind of the difference.
All right. So Mariana is growling.
You said it. I didn't say anything. I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, I felt badly for Mariana because I felt like they were egging her on to be that way. Like the other people in the house, like, go ask Mariana, like, get her to confess how she really feels about Denzel and her boyfriend and all the drama. Like, I felt like they wanted her to be that dramatic, and she was there to do it, and she was happy to do it.
It seemed like Lennox had a part in that a couple of times when she, decided that she felt like Mariana needed to know some things, and she took it upon herself to share
quiet little
out of the goodness of her heart that she was going to look out for her friend. And
I just want you to know what people are saying about you.
I just feel like Lennox has been the quiet instigator
all
along, and no one's caught on to it. Everyone's like, oh, poor Lennox this. It's like, do you guys not see she starts the drama?
She's like a sneaky chess move or something. She's like, I'm just playing the game.
Right.
She's kind of like, I can say this because I'm from the South. She's kind of like a Southern woman in that way of like kind of sliding in something, but then making it sound real nice.
Real cool.
Is that how you do it, Amanda?
Oh, Mariana, she's really troubled. Bless her heart.
Right, poor thing.
Poor thing. She's just so loud at night.
I mean, we've seen her do it with Chantel as well.
Sure, yeah.
Where Chantel called her out about the whole makeup thing.
Changing
and said,
her makeup, which is really rude.
Changing the makeup. Well, we'll get to that. But also with the fact that she mentioned she doesn't want to be in the house and how it was just taken out of context. Yeah. And the whole, the source of the whole information was Lennox.
I don't know. I will say, going back to your point, Amanda, when you're there, someone who's been there, you're trying to put yourself out there as much as you can. So I don't really feel like people are egging you on so much as you kind of do it to yourself. You kind of but everybody does it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have a choice whether you want to respond to what they're saying.
Of course.
But also, you have to think about like, if I don't respond, are they going to kick me out for being boring in the house?
Exactly. It's a give and take. And then, granted, you're also sitting around. You're with these people 24/7, so it gets really awkward if you don't.
So you might not talk about it all day.
Based on your comments, I have to say, if they're keeping Adam for the drinking, God, they must not have any trouble.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to pose this question because I feel like it kind of goes back to this. Are we talking about the show as who's right for the show, or are we talking about who's going to make a great model?
I think there's always going to be a debate, regarding that, because you have fans who have been watching the show since, season 1 and really truly believe that this is for modeling purposes. You're competing. But then people who have just recently caught on are treating it more like a reality show.
I feel that Will and Keith are going to be great models. They're, for me, the strongest in the whole competition right now.
So with that said,
fellas.
Yeah, the
fellas
guys.
Representing.
I think so.
Lennox is right behind them. So.
Lennox, I mean, they're the top 3 for me.
Let's go right into the challenge for, for this episode. It was a great challenge, and it's one of my favorite challenges that they put on.
Yeah, I do like that it's getting more real. It's getting more, it's getting more real.
It's my favorite.
Hold on, who's your favorite?
Medic.
I love when they do the go-sees.
Oh, okay. I was like,
because it's real modeling. It's the real thing, yeah.
Except they gave them a driver, so it made it like 100 times easier.
Or maybe harder.
Well, no, but I mean, it makes sense to be able to get 4 or 5 castings done in a day when it's your first day there and you don't speak the language. You should have a driver, and of course they have the budget for it. But I remember, side note, when I first showed up in Italy, in Milan, they take you to the model apartment and you go to the agency in the morning and they give you a map and your portfolio and your cards and set you loose. Like, you just have to figure out the metro.
Good luck, Bella.
You kind of hope you hope that the other models will help you, but sometimes you think you have it figured out and you try to go out by yourself. It's always better to go in a group. See how they set them up in pairs for this? It was a lot better. You should always have a buddy.
So we have
the buddy system works in modeling as well.
But I love how they actually are going to meet clients that are in another country and they're not necessarily they don't get Top Model over there, or maybe they have their own version of it in their country.
Top Model Soul.
No, I'm sure they have franchised it in some way. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's cool that they're not influenced by how they've done previously in the competition. They don't know all their personalities. They're just looking at them for the first time as models. And you
I do have to say, I'm kind of.
I would like to say that's
iffy about
truthful,
that.
But
you think that they got some pre-information?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty obvious by their facial reactions and how they were treating the contestants. But I do want to mention that we have special guests.
Sorry to bust your bubble.
Oh man.
Okay. Ben Baller, Jay Park, and then some of the designers: Jenny Kim, Jeong Lee, the Studio K, Megan Logan, Sun Lang Lee. So the clothing and the styling was really interesting, but off the top, I have to say it is unfair for some people.
No.
Because you are never, I shouldn't say never, but you are, 90% of the time not going to fit into a certain market. Especially when you're 6'6".
Can I have to say, I'm 5'11", and I've never been invited to model in Asia. They would have representatives from the agencies sometimes come and stop over in different New York agencies, and I would never get chosen because I'm literally just too tall for the clothes. Like, it just wouldn't fit. They would be, you know, the pants would be too short, the sleeves would be too short. And usually for Asian markets, they pick, for females, usually between like 5'8" to 5'9", or maybe even 5'7". It skews a little bit more petite because the Asian market, the sample sizes are a lot smaller because just as a people, they're just a little bit smaller. So it makes more sense for them to have the samples be like that. So that's why Will had a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but
and his poor feet. Oh,
Will like literally snatches Shy to pick her as a partner. Then you have Chantel and Keith, I'm sorry, and Adam and Lennox. Interesting pairing. I didn't think they were gonna pair like that, but
although it was really funny. It was very, very juvenile what they did. Like, it was really funny though at the same time. I was laughing and I felt bad that I was laughing. While I was laughing, I was like, "You guys are so bad doing that right now." Just grabbing they're all like kind of like
Keith is just like, "I'm a nice guy. I don't know what to do."
Let me tell you what I like about Keith, and this has helped Keith's attitude. Is Keith has remained positive. He hasn't engaged in any drama. He really has avoided all drama actually up until this episode, and I could have to really commend him on even how he handled the drama that occurred in the house this episode that was directly related to him. And I think that's just like, if you want to stay relevant, you do well on the show, and you just maintain a positive attitude. Anytime someone wants to talk drama or be negative about something, just say something positive and have a good attitude. If you constantly have a good attitude, then you're not gonna.
It has a good effect on people.
It has a good effect.
It has a very positive effect.
So then you're not gonna get caught up in the drama because they're just like, well, you already know that this person is not really the kind to edify negativity. They're just not
edify.
I like how that translated, you know, and spilled over into the contest and how he was treating and acting with with the designers, because he was just really honestly, genuinely trying to, you know, make them like him, and your personality comes out in the clothes that you're wearing. So yeah, he was very charming, and you know, to say that, you know, the opposite of that, Chantel, I don't think she was very respectful. So I don't know if there's any model etiquettes that people need to follow. So maybe you guys could give us a little bit of.
I think Keith kind of answered that a little bit on the show. He said, you know, you have to go in, and he even learned how to say thank you in Korean, which was very respectful.
Big props,
and
very smart.
And you know, he was just very nice to them, but not over the top. You know, you don't want to be like too in their face.
Brown-nosy.
Right.
But I mean, you have to go in all the time with a smile, because I feel like, you know, they want you to be so serious when you do your runway walk that it's kind of nice to show that you have a personality, like before and after. Because you have to be so like serious. So I think he really did a good job of that. And also, I think as far as castings go, I liked what the shoe designer was saying about Keith. She's like, I can see his passion.
Yes.
I can see how he feels about the shoes. And I mean, you just have to be a good listener if you want to, you know, book jobs.
That's,
read the room.
Really well put.
Yeah, feel what the designer wants from you. Even in other markets where they may not be able to sort of translate it as well, you can kind of like look at what you're supposed to be selling. Like if it's shoes or whatever, it can be a little bit more fun and happy. It doesn't have to be so serious. And also, I'll tell you one of my little tricks. If I don't know a lot about a designer, or even if I do, I look at their latest fashion show, their latest season, and I kind of see like how do they style the models, what are they wearing, what are their like color choices for that season for the models to wear, like the different colored palette, and I try to like make myself look like one of their girls when I go in.
That's smart. Nice tip.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they do like, okay, they do a lot of like buns on the top of their head, I'll do that, and like try to do. Yeah, that's
you just have to be smart. You have to be smart about it, and it's about finding a balance. You know, like you said, you don't want to brown nose too much, but you do, you know.
But you can brown nose in private, and then
right. But so much when you walk into a room, you're projecting a vibe and you're projecting a presence, and that says so much without even saying a word. People are sizing you up and looking at you, and the way you come off, and the way, like you said, Keith is such a positive guy.
Yeah,
people pick up on that. They really do. And so when you're in there, when you're meeting with these clients, you know, you do want to show your personality. You want to have fun with it, and you want to get into it with them, and that's great. That's what they really want to see. Because listen, they're sitting there all day long. They're meeting. You got to remember, they're meeting. You know, when you're going on castings, they're seeing hundreds of people sometimes.
Of course.
You know, and then even when they book you, they have to be on set with you for 12, 14 hours a day. They don't want to be. They don't want to work with someone who they don't like to be around. Right. You know.
And they didn't show the models having to wait with like 30 other people from like, different agencies.
True. Yeah.
They just had their own casting with the own top model people. But normally you wouldn't be able to make it to that many in a day. You might, well, in that time frame, you might only be able to go to 3 instead of 4.
Of course.
Because you have to wait. Like you sign in and there might be 40 people in front of you and you just have to. That's when you're really like, I gotta be confident.
Right. It's intimidating when you walk into a room.
And sometimes you're in that line with other girls and they're like talking about what they just did yesterday and they shot with this photographer and they did this fashion show. You just put the headphones on. You're like, I did great things too, but I don't have to talk about it. I don't want to get involved. You know, because sometimes what they're saying could be like intimidating, you know, so you want to make sure you have the confidence when you come in.
That's the same thing with acting now. People will say certain things just to make themselves feel better or to get in your head.
Yes.
About
everybody's always playing a game.
And there are certain girls that just are always like that. And you're like, I don't want to be around that because it's kind of like more drama. And I don't need that. I'm like, I got my book, I got my headphones.
I don't know. I make friends with people. I just start talking to people. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there, and actually a lot of the people you see in auditions, you see them kind of often.
People,
So it's like you get to know people, you build a relationship. At the end of the day, listen, you're either what they're looking for or you're not, and that's what people need to realize. That's what it comes down to. So because I may not be right for it, somebody else is right for it, and vice versa. So I don't ever feel like.
But there's a different dynamic with male models than
there is. I don't know. I never. I personally never feel like I'm really in competition with anyone. I really don't. I look at it as
when I see another redhead, I'm like, I see you.
It's like they're gonna like what they like.
Right.
You go do your thing.
Yeah, you're gonna.
And they're gonna do their thing.
Dude, you're gonna psych yourself out if you try. You know what I mean? Just focus on you.
I usually feel that way, but then there's just sometimes there's these like clicks or whatever, and you're just kind of like, okay.
I mean, again, that's life.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I brought up the whole model etiquette, if there is any, with going to see, going to auditions, is because I personally thought Chantel was completely rude when she walked in with her sunglasses on to her.
I thought they were they the client's sunglasses they gave her?
No, it was hers. She did not take
shades
that off.
on. Like two or three of the casting, she had her shades on while she was. I was like,
if someone did that,
don't do that ever. Lesson in what not to do.
Well, that just goes to show you that she wasn't feeling good about herself.
You know what?
She's trying to cover up.
But this is also, I think this goes back to, if you remember, how everybody shuffled away from her when they were going to pick it. So there are little underlying things that when there's only a small group of you, the energy is that much more intense about who you're with. So obviously she feels that we've all seen that the energy is not positive. Well, that is coming from her and coming towards her. Right. So she can't be in a good space going into this challenge at all whatsoever.
Well, that is the ultimate challenge. Everybody has a bad day. You get a bad phone call or something, and you still have to, when you have an audition or a casting, you still have to go. Yeah. And still.
That's a great point. I mean, this is your career, regardless. It happens to everybody. Stuff happens in life. You have to find ways to deal with it and move on. And you have to be professional.
Like, overcome that.
Yeah.
I thought it was, to me, it was surprising how everyone was having a hard time with the shoes. And it was the easiest one to model or to do something with. And Keith and Lennox were the only ones that were having fun with the shoes, jumping and posing. Other people just like looked like they got caught in the headlights. Like,
how do I pose with shoes on? I don't know. I think Keith was the most natural. He just went to tie the shoe. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Huh.
What would you do?
Don't overthink it.
Yeah. It was just like, I think people went in there. The 3 people that had, some sort of a complex to them were, of course, Chantel. Will already knew off the bat he wasn't going to get casted,
This is the reality of it.
In, not a lot. And Shy, I actually thought she was going to do good, but I think the hair split, between the
Which
the
I
blonde
think,
and the black
I felt
played
bad
against
for her on that because it was like, I was like,
I feel like it's just
it's
a
totally
dumb,
not your fault or totally not her
it's
fault.
a dumb
that-
thing that Tyra did. I'm sorry, I love Tyra, but that was a dumb decision. I mean, because you can't really get cast with
But
that.
no, it's such a polarizing look. So people, like they said, they're either going to love it or they're going to hate it. You can't. There's no in between with it.
But I feel like she should either be blonde or dark hair.
She should be
I mean,
all or one or the other.
Yes.
Just to do this thing that worked for like a couple of challenges or whatever. Like, why not switch her hair back, or at least give her all blonde hair?
I think
or
it still
give her
looks
all...
good now, but the different color eyebrows when they had it
It's
there,
it's just not.
It's too
It's not
distracting.
practical.
It's too distracting
It's not,
from the clothes.
Yeah, it's not practical for a model to look like that.
No.
And go on castings?
No.
Hell no.
No.
She
Definitely
looks
not.
completely different with one hair color and having two hair colors. It really made her look edgy, but not in a good way.
It's
so
hard- it's
the
just-
designers, I think, she would have done well if she was her natural look. But to them, maybe she was a little bit too edgy.
Well, you want to be
Turned off by it.
you want to be beautiful, but also a blank canvas for castings, so they can
Sure.
imagine you to be who they want you to be.
Right.
And so, if they want all the models to have one hair color on one side and one on the other, then they would get the hair team to get like hair pieces clip in on one side.
That's imposing a look. That's
a good point.
Imposing.
Yeah.
It's a very imposing image that she already had. And it just really sucked to hear them saying, "Oh, the hair is split." I'm like, that's
it's
so
like-
whack
it's
because
like
she
she's
did not
already-
choose this for herself.
It's like she's already a painting that's been done instead of the blank
Right.
canvas to paint.
Right.
I mean, going back, touching on it as well, the whole will thing, where they're like, well, if you charm the client enough, listen, the
Why
reality.
do they keep saying that?
The
That
reality
was
is,
like, oh my gosh,
if you don't
shut
fit
up.
the clothes, they're not going to
if
book
you don't fit the shoes.
right, and they're just not.
Like,
He wears a
They're just
14
like,
and he had to
okay.
wear a size 10.
Like,
They're like, all right,
there's
thank you, but I'm sorry.
There's some
no.
truth to,
my-
like you said, like, brown nosing, whatever you want to call it with the client. Yeah, absolutely. But it only goes to a certain point.
Yeah.
If you don't fit, you don't fit, period.
And you don't want to try. You don't want to walk down the runway and clothes that don't fit. It would be embarrassing for you.
Sure. For you, the designer, everybody.
Come on. Let's be honest.
so let's
You gotta
go.
charm your way into those clothes next time, Will.
It's like Tyra, no. Maybe that worked for you because, she's like the right height for everything. But he's
That
the
did
right
not
height
work
for
for
certain
him.
places, but not
Yeah.
for South Korea.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the bookings and see who got what.
Yes.
So the first pair, Adam and Lennox. Adam got 1 out of 4, and Lennox got 4 out of 4. Go sees.
Ching ching.
Chantel had 1 out of 5. Keith had 4 out of 5. Shy had 2 out of 4, and Will had 0 out of 4.
It was just the fit. That was
Yeah.
Sad, but he knew, so he didn't really go in with high expectations. He knew what the reality was.
I would love to see him in London. I think he would do really well.
Yeah, he
see
would
that,
kill the
yeah.
game
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, his face. I mean, his face is phenomenal. He photographs so well.
Well, anywhere except Asia, I think he would do well.
Yeah, they're just not going to fit him.
It's just
What are you
reality.
gonna do?
Yeah. He's a tall. He's a tall guy.
He's
just
tall
not going to
even-
fit in certain places.
He's tall even amongst models. He's tall.
I'm tall and he's bigger than me.
They actually mentioned that he's even tall for the model world.
Yeah.
He is. No, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about
Close to
6'6",
I'm closer to
6'4".
6'4".
You're closer to 6'4".
Yeah, most
Does
male
your card
models are
say 6'3"?
It says 6'3".
Okay.
Most male models are 6 foot to 6'2". I mean, that's a pretty.
Yeah.
They want you in that range for the most part.
Right.
I mean, there's always exceptions, though.
Of course.
So
Well,
A horse is a horse, of course.
Yeah, I was really hoping that somebody was going to be late and Kelly was going to. I thought that was going to happen.
I really thought
she was going to do that. Yeah.
I really thought Lennox and Adam were going to be late.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like, it
I'm
was
sure
like-
that timer was
And
really accurate.
Of course, that would be really interesting television for Adam to be the one that was late and be like, oh, well, you're drinking,
yeah,
you're
he was on a
late.
binge drug. They could have taken
Well, it was
that way.
kind of obvious when he said, "I got this one. I'm good at this. I'm going to map the whole thing out." And it's like, of course, you're going to be the one that's late.
Well,
I mean,
but
it was
they
on-
made it.
he
They
made it.
scooted right in there, but
Yeah.
just by a hair.
Who knows if they froze the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the winner of the challenge is Keith, since him and Lennox were tied, but he went to 5 go-sees, and he booked 4. So he won the challenge, and he got to have great designer clothes. So I wonder, specifically what they gave him, and I'm guessing they send it after the episode airs.
Yeah, they'll send it after. Say, hey Keith, tweet a picture at
yes,
us. Let us see what you got. Rock some clothes.
Yeah,
Let's
Mr. Carlos.
Yeah,
and share it.
I think part of Keith's charm is that I think Keith is actually passionate about fashion and not just modeling.
Yeah,
I think he has like because you can see how he dresses or during panel or whatever.
It up.
Yeah, he loves to dress, and it's not just modeling. Yeah, you can see like some people have in the model world they just have no fashion sense. They just are models. They have an exotic look or they look good. They know how to take good pictures.
I have good days and bad days.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at him, you can tell he takes pride in how he dresses, even when he's not working.
Yeah, I get that.
He's like really into.
I think that the right word to say would be that he's very conscious of what looks good on his body. So there's, he loves fashion, but there's one thing of liking fashion and knowing what's good on your body.
He's
knowing
also
how to
from
put it to
Atlanta.
He's
also from Atlanta. I know about Atlanta. Atlanta, everybody dressing the ATL. You know what I'm saying?
Are you from Atlanta?
No, but I'm from North Carolina. I'm from the South, so I like the South. Yeah. Okay. But no, I see exactly what you're saying, and I know that there are. Sometimes I'm like jealous of other models that have such great personal style because I'm like, oh.
All 5 of them?
No, just in general, like girls that I see around, like.
No, I'm saying there's not a lot. That's my whole point.
Oh yeah,
joke.
Yeah. It's okay. All right, moving right along. But I was also going to add that, I think that sometimes, like when they go to panel, I have a feeling that they kind of dress them. Like,
no, they don't. But sometimes we will coordinate amongst ourselves.
Okay, because this episode, when they went to panel, I thought they were very well coordinated, and I was like, I wonder if they kind of set that
No,
up.
but when you go up there for panel, they'll place you in a specific order so that it looks aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, but they don't know. They never tell you what to wear.
Okay.
No, I know they don't tell them what to wear because Shai's wearing Emma K's closet, so.
Hey.
But speaking of what to wear, a lot of models get told by their agent what to wear to castings, especially during Fashion Week, because they want to stay consistent with their card. Because there's so many girls, especially in New York Fashion Week, you have to be memorable and stand out, so you kind of want to wear the same kind of thing every day.
Right.
But a lot of the time, I've heard this from a lot of different people, but specifically a runway coach early on in my career was saying, don't try to outdress the designers. Don't try to impress them with your clothes. Just know, wear a tank top and skinny jeans and a pair of heels. Because you want to be like that, like I said, like the blank canvas, so they can imagine what you look like in their clothes.
Right.
Instead of being like so much jewelry and makeup. Like, they almost want you to wear no makeup instead of too much.
It's a very good point, Amanda.
You can wear a little bit, but never like red lipstick and like blue eyeshadow.
No, you're not going to walk the red carpet. You're not getting all done up. I usually just wear like a t-shirt, jeans, and like some boots. Honestly, it's like you said, you want to be that slate. They want to be able to envision the clothes on you.
Right. So
you don't got to go nuts with it. Yeah,
so that's why it was also really weird for her to show up with sunglasses, for Chantal to show up with sunglasses, because it's like, what are you doing? How can I see? Because I mean, obviously she has.
I'm like, aren't you a model? Like, why would you? Call
Obviously she has vitiligo. She should be proud of it and own it, like Tyra says. Like just own it, because obviously people are responding to her.
Right.
I think it's been, a lot of things that have added up, and, based on what's happened with some comments that were made towards her from you side, the rest of the, contestants in the house, everything just added up to.
I think she shut down a little.
Shutting down. And I don't know, maybe if it's this whole left thing she has going on with Keith, too, that, she was, I don't know, somehow hiding behind her glasses, but...
you just made me think of something. I think she just wants to be loved by society, by friends, by a man. She just wants to be loved.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes I feel like she kind of does play the victim. I think somebody brought that up in the episode. I think it was Lennox. It's just like, listen, like you're all going through this experience together. Everybody wants to get along. You don't want to fight with people. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like they want to get along.
There's some people that do things intentionally. It's kind of like knowing you're poking at the wound, but you're still doing it anyways, but very subtly. Kind of like I guess how you mentioned about Lennox doing it, because she came in to the beginning of the episode like, oh, I'm so sad that Ray Lee is gone. It's like, really? you were with her for only 1 episode or 2 episodes, and you know these people are crying because she went home, and you're still here, and you have the nerves to go and, you know, tell them like, oh, I'm so sad, you know, and just, I think that's kind of provoking the whole fight, and people are not liking you, you know, just don't say anything versus saying something that's going to make it even worse than what it is already.
Positivity always wins.
Thank you, Thaddeus.
You just stay positive.
We're dishing out some omelet knowledge eggs right here.
Well, we're going to submit you for cycle 22, so you could take some positivity.
I'm not gonna lie. I submitted for cycle 22. I know I'm not gonna get it, but I thought it'd be a hoot.
Why not?
Come back.
Why not? I'm too old to do it now anyway. So
is there a cutoff?
I was
27.
I was on the panel. I would definitely sit on the panel. I give Kelly Catrona a run for her money.
You know what I thought they should do? I think they should do like an all-stars thing, but have like 2 captains, like a guy and a girl captain, and then get to pick who they want on their team. How sweet would that be?
Ooh, then it'll be like MTV Road Rules like challenge.
Dude, I'll totally captain the dudes.
Models television, MTV Models television.
That's right.
That's right. Well, I think it's gotten to the point where they have to do something new. I mean, another 4 or 5 cycles of this. Okay, then what's next?
Right.
So you need to bring in some new juice to spice it up a little bit.
Some new what?
Juice.
Okay.
Juice.
What did you hear?
The juice.
I heard what it sounded like, but I know you didn't say that, so that's why she asked, and it was clarified.
I'm going to leave it.
We're going to leave it at that.
As it is. Yeah. Leave it as it is. Yes. Okay.
Juice. New juice.
Go on with the photo shoot.
I'm drinking some juice.
So we have a featured photographer, Eric Asla, again. Is he like on the tour with them?
Well, he just went to Korea, so he's there.
They only want to fly so many people there. Yeah. So like when we were in Bali, they had Jess Smith basically do all the shoots in Bali. So they're only going to pay for one person to go usually.
But I mean, he's been all season though.
Yeah, and he seems to have a really good rapport.
He is good.
He has a good rapport, it seems, with everybody, and he seems to really work with them, which I like. It's really cool. It's cool
and I know we're going to get to it, but how great is Keith in his photo shoots now? Like, oh my God.
I think he always had something there, and they just, you know.
He's had a couple.
Played it down a little bit.
He's had a couple of,
yeah,
where he had to come back and prove up.
It's the roller coaster of Tom.
But it's all about being alive on the. You know, you have to bring what's inside out through the lens. It's kind of hard to do when you're starting out. I mean, it is frustrating when you're trying to do it. It is
very hard to do when you're starting out.
Yeah, you're thinking about it, and you're like, I thought I was doing that. And they used to tell me when I first started, like, just relax your mouth. Because I used to do, like, weird, like, purses and, I don't know, like, weird stuff. And then I would try to relax.
I really want to crack a joke right there. I'm not going to do it.
No. It's just a facial expression thing. And I just couldn't. And it would be even worse because I was thinking about it so much. So I get why it's so hard when you're just starting out to like relax your face. And try
well, especially when you're starting out and you're being televised for a TV show.
I'm glad.
And it's your first time ever modeling.
I know. I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah, it's a little tough out there. So respect for all the people that are doing it for the first time.
So for this photo shoot, we have two very well-known models from South Korea, who are helping the contestants with the photo shoot. And I thought it was really interesting to go do something like this because the contestants are at a point where you really need to bring it in, like bring it all in. You know, it's all or nothing basically at this point if you want to continue on to be top 5. So to put someone else who's as strong or stronger than you really have to either step up your game or they're going to dominate you in the photos.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody got dominated by the local models. I really thought that the top model people shined.
I think it was because they had a different look.
Because they were all in brighter clothes.
Yeah, it was the setup, but...
Well, I think that male model was more experienced than the female model. I think she was starting out, but she was like a new exciting face that they were wanting to promote.
It's so cool.
Well, they had strong features, so I think it was, it was really great. The one who stood out to you guys, I mean, aside from Keith doing a great job, who else do you think did well in the photo shoot?
I thought Adam did a great job. I like that.
Yes.
He's rocking that pink suit, you know.
And at first, it seemed like he was a little stiff. I think.
I didn't like the what is it? The tooch. He was doing
it's
something.
Booch.
I wasn't. It was so un-Adam-esque for me to see him pose like that. It was like weird.
When they give certain models a prop like that, like you're going to be on a motor scooter, and then other people get to just like stand next to each other. Yeah. I feel like they have an advantage when they don't have to work with like a prop. Motorcycle.
It's another thing to throw in the equation.
It kind of like makes it more difficult, and it's not really as fair because, you know, look, they're all going to do as good as they can no matter what they have to pose next to or whatever, but I feel like Keith kind of had an advantage because he didn't have any like props and he was just next to the beautiful girl, and
he had a scooter, didn't he?
No, that was
Keith
Adam.
just had the camera.
That's right. Okay, I'm still thinking about
Adam. So he just had to hold something in his hand. It's a lot easier than having to deal with a scooter.
Right.
Yeah. I liked Will's photo too. I know Kelly wasn't really feeling it, but I thought Will's photo was really good. It was different for him. And I like that.
He can be more feminine, but he's okay. Like he's not really having to deal with that as much anymore. But to give him the umbrella, the parasol, was kind of like, all right, guys, like really,
yeah. And you're gonna give him shoes that are like. He has to like basically tippy toeing like he is in heels. So how?
Might as well give him heels.
You might as well give him heels.
But you know what? Kudos to him for like he might have said something about it like in an interview, but he didn't complain about it on the set at all.
No, he went for he gave it the good college
even though
try.
His toes are probably like this in the shoe.
Right.
I mean, he already had a disadvantage at the challenge, so he's not going to make a big deal about.
I'm sure he brought it up, but at the end of the day, he kind of realized no matter what I say, I ain't gonna change anything. It's not gonna change the situation.
He might have asked for another pair of shoes like in the wardrobe room, but when he got on set, he was professional. He didn't say anything.
That's what you have to be, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm really excited that he was that way, and it's a good example to set.
Well, if the biggest size they had was 10, then
then that's what you got to do.
That was
it's not like they know your sizes or anything when we're going into the shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I was joking.
But they might not even sell them that size.
That's the other thing I was thinking.
I don't know. I feel like
over there, is it like a size a 10? It might be a 14 over here.
I don't know. If anybody knows, give us some insight about shoe sizes in Korea. I don't know.
There was a really famous NBA basketball player, but I don't know which. Was he from
Shaquille O'Neal?
No. Was he from China or Japan?
He was from
China. Was from China.
From China. Okay, not South Korea.
But I don't think he probably custom makes all his stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's probably like a size 23 shoe.
Yeah, probably like something crazy. I know Shaq had more like a 20-something.
20-something. Yeah. It's massive.
But I think the norm for the South Korean men probably is smaller than a size 10 shoe. They probably have smaller feet.
Probably accurate, yeah.
I think the average over here is 11. I think the average shoe size here is 11, yeah.
An average for women is like 9 or 8.
You think 11? I would say 10 here, actually.
10.5, 11. I've asked a number of people at shoe stores, and they say the average size is 10.5 to 11.
Average shoes.
Because they're always gone. Anytime a hot shoe comes out and you go get it, that's the first size to go. 10.5 and 11 is always the first size to go.
No, but a lot of sample sizes for men's modeling is 9 or 10. I guarantee you.
Really?
Yeah.
And the samples for women are, well, if it's for a shoe company, it's either size 6 or size 9.
I'll have to look this up now.
Okay, guys, if you know the answer to the average shoe size in the U.S. and in South Korea, please make sure to go online, tweet, and let us know what it is and to any one of our handles. But while you're online, make sure to check us out on iTunes, YouTube, rate, comment, give us 5 stars so we would have more guests for you guys on the next show. So
10.5 is the average men.
Okay.
10.5 is the average
in United States?
Yeah. U.S.
Okay, South Korea?
I don't have South Korea here.
Okay.
Where are you getting these stats from?
Google. Google.
All right, we could all agree to disagree, but
who else did you like in the photo shoot?
I thought the guys kicked ass, but the girls were having some
guys kick ass.
Kind of a challenge with the, Shy was having a challenge with her face and getting her face to
back.
I don't know what was going on, but to me she seems like she struggles when there's someone else she has to model with. Even though I liked the picture she did with Corey. She came off a little bit too strong.
Also, they didn't shoot everyone from down low on the ground.
That's true too, but as Tyra was saying, you have to be conscious of where the photographer is.
You have to
pose.
Put your face towards the camera always.
Yes. So I think she had a little bit of a challenge with the escalator shoot as well, where she couldn't really find the light, the photographer, and really get the pose. So hope she does well in the next photo shoot.
I would have liked to see more frames because I think she probably had it better.
Probably.
Because look at her.
debate, yeah.
She's really talented. I think she had more than just... But Tyra wanted to talk about a pinhead, so that's what they put up.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Before we wrap, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So before we wrap, you guys go online. Actually, go on iTunes. You guys can rate us, give us 5 stars. You guys can tell your friends.
Emma just said that.
Did she? You said that already?
No, I mean, we need all the... Go ahead.
Okay.
Maybe they'll like you more, so...
So go on YouTube and give us your opinion. Did Keith really hit it or not? That's what we want to know. Because we're not going to have time to really get into it.
We don't have the inside scoop, but we're just guessing.
I saw
What do you guys
Chantel
think?
posted
I wanna know
something
what they
about,
think.
oh, this isn't how it really worked out, and Keith apologized to her. Something happened online. So
See,
I'm sure
I
there was
wanna
some
know-
sort of editing magic there. I'm sure there was.
So, it's funny because we were watching, and I'm just going to wrap it up with this, but we were watching it at home, and Chantel was just so childish about the whole situation, and Thaddeus said something that just kind of I didn't even think about it, but it was oh, no brainer. When Shai called her out, what did you say? You said she should have just turned around and said, I was just testing you to see, if you
That's what she should have done. She should have done. When Shai called her out, she was like, I was just testing you to see whether or not you had my back, but you broke the girl code. You're out of the circle. You can't sit with us. That's all she had to do. And it would have been a wrap.
That was
And
kind of
play it
rude
off.
to
Play it
just
off
go
like I
talk
didn't-
about it right after she asked her not to.
Right.
It was so childish. I was like, you want to sleep in the hallway? Go right ahead. I mean, more beds for us.
I don't know. I do want to
Anyway.
see 2 quick things before we go.
Hold on, but were you saying
But we
that
got to
she
get to
hit
the
it?
panel.
Did he hit it with Tyra or Chantel?
Chantel.
But you guys can give us a comment for both. How about that?
What were you going to say?
No, just 2 quick little points. One,
Okay.
Miss J is hilarious. I could watch Miss J interact with people all day long.
You know what, Miss J?
That's amazing.
Have a reality
should
show
have her own
of her
show.
I love you, Miss J.
Yeah.
Just interviewing people on the street.
Yeah, and at 2, I really like the panel set.
Yeah.
I think it looks really
I know.
cool. It looks really
South
cool.
Korea
is cool.
panel. It's so cool.
Disco-ish.
That's all. That's all I wanted to say. A little 2 cents.
I like that. I like your 2
You notice that
cents.
Chantel
Okay, so-
wasn't standing next to Shai or Keith either.
Oh.
You notice that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was there was too much tension. Shit got real.
They're like, we're going to have to separate you two.
Shit got real.
Separate.
So let's go down to the nitty gritty.
You didn't say that though? You didn't say that? You didn't say that though?
Shai.
You didn't say you hooked up with Keith though?
Oh, my gosh.
Why you walking away? Why you leaving?
Okay.
You know she said that.
I would have loved to see the 2 of them get down and fight. I know, what's her name? Lennox wouldn't have fought, but Shai, I want to see her and Chantel fight.
Lennox is calling the cops. Lennox ain't fighting nobody.
Excuse me. There's some drama in here. I'm not part of it.
I didn't instigate it,
I didn't start anything.
I was just threatening.
I just want to go show my Girl Scout
I
cookies,
didn't call.
okay?
It wasn't me. Don't tell them.
No.
Right.
I secretly hit the note. Okay, so the first call out from the whole panel is Mr. Keith Carlos.
2 in a row.
Best photo.
Yay!
Shout
Yeah, for
outs.
him.
Way
He's
to
really
represent the
rocking it.
fellas.
He looks so good in his pictures.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. I think it was really unfair that he got the camera because I feel like he takes selfies all the time anyway. I don't know why I get this notion that he's always... I was like, that's like...
Because he's a fashionable
It's like
dude.
giving him a football. It's like not fair. It's like he's used to holding the camera and taking pictures of himself.
Well, he had
The dog thing last week with the football.
No.
Right.
From the first or second episode when they had to do selfies, he had the grade. Selfie,
the first one, yeah.
Whatever picture collage
Exactly.
he did. So
Exactly.
he's very well trained in that.
Good hand-eye coordination from all that
He
football.
does this
Yes.
little...
shimmy.
Do the Keith shimmy. Do the Keith shimmy.
So the bottom 2 are Adam and Chantel. Doom, doom, doom. Elimination.
And I was watching those numbers up on the screen, and I was like, please let
So
Adam
be
stay.
it.
Adam beat her by a lot, though. He beat her by about 4 or 5 points, if you looked.
I was so relieved that Adam stayed.
I was surprised because if it's so-called social media scores, you know, and she's supposed to be, you know, in the lead with her social media scores because she came in already with the fan base. Adam doesn't really have anyone. He's on his social media.
I have to say something about Chantel. One more thing. I think that she actually can be outstanding as a model, but she never let her guard down, and she never let people in. And to be a good model, you have to be really honest. Well, and I mean, it'll come out right through your eyes. I mean, if you're hiding something, your face will never look right in the pictures. You have to just let it be. And
the camera doesn't lie.
I mean, you know how Lennox like cried and then she had the best photo shoot ever? When she had like 5 frames?
Yeah.
Unless
I want her to like let that out and then.
I don't think that will ever happen. But unless you guys didn't know, Chantel got eliminated. And Yusai called it out last week when he said, you need to be able to work with me or else you're not going to be here long.
You know what? Really quickly before we wrap, I just want to mention when they had the little thing, Yutai and her.
Panda.
Right. And they had the whole discussion about the panda thing.
Yeah.
And they, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And of course they worked it out. But when he said, you rubbed me the wrong way or whatever, and then she was like, yeah, you rubbed me the wrong way too. And it's like, oh. Are you serious? And then he was like, well, I don't work for you.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Are you serious?
Oh
Did you just say, God. But you rubbed me the wrong way too? Like, you're not his peer. Yeah. Not. Even if you were in the same industry, this guy's way older than you. Like, he's an elder. Like, you should respect him just on
I honestly think she came in thinking she was going to be Tyra's favorite just because, you know, she got the whole special privilege of coming, you know, to the United States when she's from Canada. So there had to be special, you know, provisions made for her.
Tighten those immigration laws up. Chantel, Justin Bieber. Damn. This new generation of Canadians are not like Jim Carrey. Where are old school Canadians at?
Mike Myers.
Right. Old school Canadians.
We're going to get off on a Canadian tangent here.
Okay. All right, let's stop. We got to wrap.
Let's bring it back.
We got to wrap. I love Canadians. I love Canadians, by the way.
I want to say about Chantal, like, listen, Yutsai doesn't have to call her Panda, let's be honest. He doesn't have to. I think he's trying to push the buttons, but at the end of the day, he made a very valid point. He's like, listen, people aren't going to want to work with you, period, because of your attitude. And that's what they've been trying to get through to her, and she never got
And the sad part is,
that's why she left.
I don't think it's an attitude. I think she's just afraid. She's like afraid from being bullied all those years. I think it's like she just goes into herself. So I don't even think it's an attitude. I think she's just
but like you said, it's letting that guard down. Like the only way you're going to be successful in this is if you do that.
She's not trying to be a bitch. She's just like afraid.
Well,
she's
it's
not
called
owning
reality.
it yet. She's not owning it yet. She's pretending like she's owning it, but she's not owning it yet.
I think, as we said last week, you know, when we had Cheyenne Will, she was probably the it girl in high school in whatever small town or whatever town she was in. But this is reality TV for a reason. This is reality. And, you know, I think they're putting her through the hoops because this is what she's going to face in the real world. When she goes for a casting, girls are going to be mean to her.
True.
The, you know, the photographer might say something wrong, or the designer might, you know, reference her. She can't just stand up and, you know, talk back to them. It's like, you need to shut up and take it in and, you know, perform your best. You know, do the job and leave. You don't pick a fight with people.
And it's not your job to tell him what he said wrong. It's more your job to, like, let everyone know as yourself on social media. You can say, okay, I'm not okay with that, but I was trying to be professional. I mean, because Yusai didn't take it over the line. He just said, like, a nickname that was offensive to her.
He shouldn't have done that.
He shouldn't have done that. But, I mean, I think...
And I feel like she handled it very well, besides saying you rubbed me the wrong way as well. But I think she handled it very well. She said, I don't want other people with my situation or who happen to have my condition to think that it's okay, because that is what happens. Somebody sees it and they see somebody calling her Panda, and then they go in the schoolyard, some middle school, you know, she represents these, you know, a lot of kids look up to her, and then they'll go and call the next kid a cow and think it's okay. Well, such and such calling her that on the show.
I don't think he thought it would affect her like that. I don't think he thought.
She expressed herself as a representative of people who maybe have the same.
Which was the right thing to do.
And she did say, I know you're not being malicious. I know you're saying it in love. But what concerns me is she was very articulate in how she expressed herself in that. And I have to give her kudos for that. But there was the other little things. It was a couple other little things that it was like, there still needs to be some smoothed out, rough around edges.
I think what we've learned is, you know, love, don't fight, and always stay positive, because the good always wins. So with that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Where can we find you guys?
Go.
Oh, my turn? You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Runway Queen.
It's just Mike Scocozza, Mikescocozza. Check it out.
Scocozza! And you can find me at Club Thaddeus.
And I can be found at Real Emma K on all the social media sites. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Yeah, buzz later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.